Hey, it's the Fort Worth Playboy.
And my Playboys Bunny.
Welcome to our podcast where we discuss pickup, game, relationships, and
sex.
And today, the topic is Girls' World. Men are a constant contact sport.
Ooh, that's sexier. It's not as sexy as it sounds.
This is definitely going to be something that for most of you guys have no concept that goes on constantly around you.
So, what we're talking about today is something that's going to trigger a lot of men. So let me just say on the front end, we don't do this on purpose. And we touched on this a little bit in our Girls in Deception podcast episode where we talked about that we don't share
Everything.
Including we don't share the fact that other men are constantly trying to talk to us or talking to us, touching us, stopping us in every way, shape, or form. And I think this goes with what we were talking about earlier too, about just not seeing every man that comes into our sphere. Because if we did, we would never accomplish anything and would never be good for anyone. But there are men at all times of all days trying to get our attention. And I think that this goes across the board, all levels of beauty, attractiveness, and age, really. Guys are touching us, looking for reasons to interrupt and stop our attention, and just give gifts to us, offer things of any nature to us. You name it. I'll be sitting there and a man who I never thought would touch me in a million years came up behind me just the other day and grabbed my neck. You know, there's one guy in our gym who will inevitably every single day come up and out of the blue, this man will touch my stomach. I'm not pregnant. Like, there's no reason for him to be drawn to touching my stomach.
And 90% of the time, I'm in the room, like across the way.
Or like 5 feet away from me.
And literally, you do not see it if you're a guy.
It happens so quickly.
It's nuts.
They'll brush my back. They grab my shoulder. I had one guy, like, rest his hand on me. Like, he came up behind me and he rested his arm, like, on my shoulder, like we were posing for a photo. And he just kind of sat there for a moment. And then he walked on. I was like, what just happened? It is so bizarre. But none of this stuff is stuff that females think of anything but just fucking weird.
But it happens to all of them.
But it happens to all of us.
All the time.
All the time. And we don't tell our men about it because it would light you up. If we told you every time some guy went out of his way to talk to us or give us something or bring us coffee or talk or touch us in some manner, you would lose your fucking mind.
Well, when we kind of mentioned this, or like I said,
yes,
men do not realize how constant women are being touched, approached, attempted small talk. And a couple of the guys, and I always kind of imagine them as being younger, but older guys can be as unaware. They're like, well, why is she letting him touch her?
Yeah.
Why isn't she screaming? Well, one, she'd be screaming all day.
I would be screaming all day and not in the sexy way that I like to scream.
And two, and why is she making small talk? Because in the U.S. at least, people tend to engage in conversation with the opposite sex.
Yeah.
She's not sitting there twirling her hair on her finger, touching his chest.
No.
She's just standing there talking.
Yeah.
I mean, so a lot of this is not forced, but it's just, the touching is forced. But as far as like engaging in small talk, this is just normal behaviors.
And a lot of times the girls also, as females, we have to be very cautious. First of all, most of my interactions are in a business environment.
Yeah.
And so I can't be an asshole to everyone because I want their money. But at the same time, women have to be cautious, even if it's a stranger on the street, not to reject too harshly unless there's real reason for it, because you don't know what this man's capable of or what his real intentions are. So we have to engage the small talk as best we can while trying to exit the conversation.
And you guys, nobody of yours is going to go, yeah, I got this girl's number, and then she didn't respond. So I started calling her a fucking bitch every day for like 2 months. I'd say, you're a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
And I'm texting her every day and calling her. But the girls have so many stories and evidence. They're like, I took this guy's number just so he wouldn't freak out on the street.
Yeah.
And now I can't get him off my phone.
Yeah.
Exactly. He calls from different numbers. I'm like, all girls have these challenges.
Yeah.
And the guys are out there. They don't like being rejected. They take it bad. Not everybody has wins and losses. A lot of guys just have losses and they become very angry over time, which is totally understandable, but still there's going to be a target for their anger.
But this is why girls have to be so careful. That's a great all-inclusive example of exactly what I'm talking about. We have to be careful. We have to be cautious. But and this is what's funny to me, even that guy who inevitably manages to touch my stomach every day, I never see him coming. Like, I'll see him coming, I'll try to avoid him. As soon as I forget about him, he gets me. And like we just said, Fort Worth will be standing right there. It's not.
Isn't he about 80?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he's a very fast, spry, and flexible 80 years old.
I mean, it's just incredible.
It's the craziest. He loves women.
Yeah,
he really does. There's not a woman he doesn't speak to.
I'm like, my goodness, if he hasn't felt you up, he must not like you.
He must hate you.
But at the same time, it's not disrespectful of Fort Worth. It's just that men have their own agendas, and it does not matter. And this goes for even back 20 years ago when I would have an engagement ring on my finger and be like out with girls or whatever. Well, you're not married.
Yeah.
That's a ring. I don't see a ring on your finger. Well, I'm engaged. Like, well, you're not married.
Yeah.
I mean, men do not care
at all.
Nothing dissuades a man from talking or engaging a girl who they want to talk or engage.
Yeah.
So don't be mad. My point being, don't be mad at your girlfriend or wife or whatever if she's not purposefully going out of her way to make this kind of thing happen, I guess is the best way to put it. I don't know. 9 times out of 10, it's swooping out of nowhere, and she did not see it coming, and she tried to get out of it as quickly as possible. But it happens. It happens all the time. Yeah. It happens all the time. And I've had girlfriends, again, across the age, across the beauty spectrum, agree that this happens to them all of the time.
It's a constant contact sport. And again, the reason we're kind of letting you into girls' world is girls love a man who just gets it.
Yeah.
And the more you know about their species, which is very different than ours, the better you can just get it.
Yeah.
A girl says, hey, this guy, she's telling you for a reason. But if a girl's mentioning some guy's touching her, it's out of hand because it happens all the time.
Yeah. If it's sticking with us, then
enough they mention it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there has to be an intersection. There's a reason.
Yeah.
Because it happens constantly.
Yeah.
But the better you understand women, you can be known as one of those guys that just gets it. And girls love men who understand women and just get it.
Right.
Naturally. So that's why we kind of let you in on some of these secrets of the sisterhood.
We want you to win.
If you guys like this, we have a couple newsletters below. Got my newsletter. Got
Bunny's
newsletter.
Yeah.
Which is 20% girl brain. You see more of this than you do in mine. Unless we tap into it. And if you like this video, like it, share it, comment below. Let us know what's going on. Or if you've got a girlfriend, wife, sister, mother that's mentioned something like this to you. Like,
we'd love to hear your stories.
I'm all touched out today.
Yeah, seriously,
please stop touching me.
Please stop touching me.
Exactly.
Hopefully she's not saying that to you. She's like, you're the one person I want to touch me.
Yeah.
Touch me, please.
long as they'll let you hang on them.
I love it. We want you to win. Bye.